Hi guys, and welcome to another Hero of the Week. Now this week's hero is Emily Maitlis, a former BBC journalist who now hosts the News Agents podcast. Here she was speaking to former Transport Secretary Grant Shapps about legislation his government wants to bring in to mandate a minimum level of service from a number of public bodies. Emily perfectly destroys Shapps' argument here with one simple single point. Have a listen.
But if you have the highest category problems, someone having a heart attack or perhaps broken bones, stroke, it seems proper, and indeed is done elsewhere, that you should still be able to get an ambulance in that situation. Countries like France and Germany, Spain, Italy, and elsewhere already have minimum safety levels in place. In fact, we're the outlier for not having those.
Can I just delicately point out the flaw in the argument is that at the moment you can't get an ambulance, you can't get health workers, you can't get beds in hospitals. There's no point in suggesting that it's the strikes that are causing this problem. It's not. It's the shortages. That's why the strikes are happening, because quite frankly the staff can't cope as it is. Honestly, Grant, it's not lists though. It's not waiting times. It's literally having to spend the night on your floor because the ambulance doesn't come because there aren't enough people. Having to sit in a hospital car park or on a hospital chair because you haven't got enough people there. These aren't like operation waiting times where you might be able to go about your daily life. These are literally A&E desperate times.
Well said. So well said. And it's true. This is not about things that can be put off. These are things that need to be dealt with immediately. And the government's response to this is, well, we're going to bring in minimum operational levels or minimum service levels. But if people can't get an ambulance now, before a strike, then how is this going to stop a strike? It's not. It's actually going to make the situation worse, because people who are considering leaving the NHS are going to speed up that decision. People who are considering joining may be in two minds now, because they're being told by the government, well, if you go on strike, we're going to sue you in some cases, or fire you in other cases, or maybe even both. How is that going to encourage people to join the NHS? How is that going to encourage people to stay? It's not. And all it's doing is window dressing, appearing that the government are in charge when they're not. This is completely out of control. And I don't see it being fixed anytime soon, because the core problem here is a lack of staff. 170,000 vacancies in the NHS, 100,000 vacancies in social care. And social care is the real problem here, because if people can't be moved out of hospital into social care, they can't be moved into nursing homes or back into their own homes and being provided with a carer, and they have to stay in hospital, then it creates a backlog. And that's why we're seeing a disaster where people are literally dying in corridors and people are being treated in ambulances and not being moved into hospitals. Or if they are, it's after hours, not minutes. The only way to fix this is to recruit staff, put that staff into the care sector so that it clears the backlog in the NHS. But this takes months, if not years. And the NHS doesn't have that amount of time. It needs this problem fixed immediately. And the government's response is, well, we're going to set up a minimum standard of service, a minimum service level, I should say. But that's not going to fix the problem. As Emily pointed out, people can't even get an ambulance now. Grant Shapps doesn't know what the heck he's talking about, as usual. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.